Hello, this is Nancy Heins-Glaser for another wonderful Meet the Artist program on SOMAtv. I've been doing this a long time, and I've had some amazing people, but tonight I'm really excited because I have one of my very favorite chefs in the entire world. Chef Jesse, how are you?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we were talking today and trying to remember as we're both getting older. It's harder.
Yes, yes.
But we've known each other, I think, at least since 2007, maybe a little longer than that. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's about right. 2007 we met.
Right, and what I've been doing, and I became a fan of yours almost instantly because not only because the food is good, but it's great food.
Right.
But you have such a winning way with people. I watched you in action at Chef Central in Paramus.
Right.
And you engaged people of all ages and a diverse crowd, young, old. And I just saw the power you had in your ability to communicate your love for food.
Right.
And that's really, I tasted your food first, I guess.
Right.
We met, we shook hands somewhere in the village. We don't even remember when.
Right.
And then
I remember, you didn't.
You remember and I don't. Okay.
I remember the top of the hill.
Okay.
But
and what we've had a chance to do is interact with each other. In lots of different places. And you've been on a journey now.
I've been on a little ride.
Since 2003 you started doing your...
I opened a restaurant in 2003, closed it in 2006, and then just decided to do a little catering. And but I had an amazing ride. I've learned a lot. It was tough, but I learned a lot from it,
In 2003, you opened Heart and Soul on Academy Street in a small block of stores, which has its own little challenge in terms of a destination.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a little off the beaten
the
path.
demographics is a little off, and there's been several businesses that been in there prior. I mean, since I left, wasn't successful as they thought too. I guess it's something about the location.
Well, there's not as much ease in foot traffic there, so you have to kind of draw in the neighborhood.
Be in town.
Yeah, but I can tell you that my neighbors talked about you way before I met you.
Amazing experience.
He's amazing. You gotta go. And so when you and I met, which was through the house tour, I think you had some featured food. The house tour.
I actually donated that to myself and the food, for that occasion. As people were touring the houses, they got me, Chef Jesse, there. I just wanted to get the exposure and get to meet people. It's pretty much how I am.
Yeah, well, and it's worked for you.
Yeah, it worked.
I think really why this was so important to me is watching you as you've sort of hitched onto that comet. You're on the tail end of a comet and swinging all over. And you gave up some time tonight because you've been worn out and tired.
Yeah.
Tell me what you've been up to lately.
Well, lately.
Yesterday.
Yesterday I was had the pleasure of working with Lauren Young Cook, which hosts a event every year called Lavish Lunches for seniors with Alzheimer's disease, and she teamed up with Roseanne Riscato from Fox 5 News, was the house speaker, and people in the area donate their homes, and people just come and they have various events, and I happened to be at one of the houses and taught a class to 20 amazing women that love me, love the demo, but simple recipes that they can execute on their own, because intense recipes are kind of nowadays it's tough. People are not home being able to do these hard recipes, so they're very simple. You can go to Fairway, you can pick all this stuff up, and it was really simple, and they loved it. They were like, I can't believe it's this simple, but great. So it was about a combination of putting things together and just knowing what works.
So did you actually work with them to prepare food?
Yeah, I worked right with them. I demo. I showed them everything what I did, where I bought, where I purchased the ingredients. They saw the box. This way they can go pick it up themselves. And then when you're entertaining a party, you can just do these ahead of time. And when your guests come, you can pop them in the oven, melt the cheese on a couple of them, and voila, you put them on a tray, and you're good to go.
Well, and you're really also an educator. I've watched you in action with kids and healthy eating, and not that I ascribe to that myself.
Right.
I'm a little bit not healthy eater, but I've watched you make salads and talk about food groups with kids.
Yes.
And so you have the ability to go the entire spectrum of very, wonderful, nasty, delicious food to the nth degree, but making healthful food that's also yummy.
No, absolutely. It's definitely about health. For as African-American cuisine, it's different concept about growing up in the South. I watched my family. They all had a lot of, amputations, diabetes, sugar, different things. So, with my quest of cooking, especially with my mother, to watch Southern food, I'm a big fan of Southern cuisine. So my main goal is to make it as light as I can to a point. And so I do both. I do a classic and I do a contemporary approach. So if somebody wants the full Monty, they want to pay me, I give them the full Monty, the pork and everything they want. And if they want a little bit something different, a little lighter, a different concept, I can also give them that too, especially with the kids. Now it's easier with the kids because you can bestow that on them young, and methodically they'll interpret that, and they'll be with them. When people get a little older, they tend to say they'll do it, but then they may cheat.
Well,
so
right.
The kids are, if you start to give them vegetables and have them in the kitchen with you and show them different techniques, it's going to be with them forever, and then they're going to actually eat healthier and better. When you get older, it's kind of hard-headed. Like the doctor say, you can't have that. You go, okay, but then you I want to get a show where you can go, where people say what they don't eat, and then go follow them in the supermarket and raid their cart. Like, what is this? Like Dr. Oz does that,
Okay, well, don't come follow me.
I won't raid your cart.
Right. But, so anyway, really, you started out, you're from South Carolina?
Yeah, well, I was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
I was born in Newark, New Jersey, and my mom, decided to move down south for a little while, and she, we went down south, and then she wanted to come back up here and work and do things, so she left us there. So I was kind of raised with my grandmother and just loving the food, and a big fan of just being in the kitchen with them. And I have to give my mother all the homage to of just being in the kitchen with her, the impact that she had on people, just the look on their face when they taste her food and they pile up, and I just grew up loving that, and it's what I do. I mean, I'm only as good as my last meal, but also just to see a look on someone's face once they taste my food, and it's just an unbelievable experience, and that's what I work hard for. Just to I have a reputation that I have to keep up. I love it.
Yeah, and you and I talked about this. It's a unique gift. My dad was in the restaurant business, and pretty much anyone who's in food.
Yeah.
It's not about the business of it. It's about the pleasure you're giving others.
Oh, absolutely. It's about the hospitality.
And I know, and that's one of your just amazing strengths. Yeah. And you have the ability to sort of jump beyond age or beyond a region for your food. And you can do any of the regional foods. Yes. I mean, I think that's why you have such a broad appeal. Yeah. But tell us some of the famous people, because I was looking here at this article. Who did you do? Well,
I've been actually accumulating some great celebrities. It's been amazing. Like, for instance, I first started off at Kiss FM, where I was doing some of Tyler Perry's plays, and so they host a meet and greet for the actors at Kiss FM in New York, and I was the chef doing the breakfast, and I did one or two, and that took off. And so every time that Tyler Perry has something at Kiss FM, I'm normally doing the breakfast, backed by Popular Man. So that's amazing. And then I had met Michelle Williams from Destiny Child there, and Thelma Hopkins, and Jack A from 227, and Muhammad from The Temptations. I mean, the list just goes on, and Darryl White, and then I went on to cook for Sunny Hostin, which is on CNN. Cooked for her personally. It was amazing. And Brenda Blackman from My 9 News, I did an event for her. Did some for John Legend at one point. I did a little dinner, a little luncheon for him, and that was he's a really cool guy. And I made a cameo on Love and Hip Hop with celebrity rapper Jim Jones. So I cooked for him and his fiance on top of a rooftop in New York. It was amazing. You probably can still see that on VH1, and it was amazing. People were calling me like, I know we didn't see you on TV, but one of the things I want to say is everything that I'm about and what I encourage, especially with young kids, is that I'm never going to give up. My whole life, people told me what I couldn't do. If you ask a young kid, what do you want to be? And that kid says, I want to be a celebrity. And then when they get older and they come to somebody and say, can I be a celebrity? They tell them, no, it's hard work. You can never be a celebrity. But if you believe in whatever you want to be, you can make it happen. And I think I'm a living witness of that. Because I've been pushing, but I'm really the real deal. I'm very passionate, but I paid my dues. I've done everything. I cooked with some of the best chefs in New Jersey. Everything that I felt I needed to learn, whether it was sushi, whether it's Japanese, whether it's kosher, I wanted to be involved with it. And I did it for free. I didn't get paid. I got my hands dirty. So I figured, you know what? I'm 47. Yesterday I turned 47. And I said, I'm going for it. You know, I got nothing to lose. But I'm really packed with a lot of experience. But when I opened up Heart and Soul, and when I went around, I was so anxious to tell everybody what I can do. It's like, I can do that. And then people go, well, just stick to the Southern. And I was like, well, let me just stick to the Southern. And then they love the Southern, but then somebody say, I'm not big on Southern. What else do you know? Then I go, oh, I can do that. So now I just let God is great. He's blessed me. I let it come to me. So they say, can you do sushi? Yes. Can you do something kosher?
Do that.
Yes. Really? Yes. You know, so.
You
The real chefs that I work for know I'm passionate, know what I can do. I don't want to prove myself anymore. I just live life, and I think I'm not for everybody. The people that really love good food, if you're a foodie, if you cook yourself and you travel the world and you taste great cuisines and you execute dishes and techniques, you'll love what I do.
There's no question about it in my mind, because I've experienced it myself. You have a complete bag, a repertoire, a food repertoire that most people could only dream about. But one of the things I love is the generosity of your heart and the generosity of sharing the soul.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't believe I think we're getting close to maybe needing to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what it's like to start the business and who you have to rely on a lot to do it. So please don't turn that dial. Stay tuned for more of Chef Jesse and cooking from his heart and soul. And we look forward to having you join us again. Don't go away.
Television is a powerful and influential medium that allows different groups the opportunity to produce programming that directly affects their own communities. Public, educational, and government access channels ensure that all people, regardless of race, age, gender, disability, religion, or economic status, have access to local government information and the use of a public communication forum. Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local PEG channels.
Welcome back. It's Nancy Heins-Glaser for Meet the Artist on SOMAtv, and I'm here to talk about cooking from the heart and soul with Chef Jesse Jones. Hi, Jesse.
Yes.
And you're back?
Yep, I'm back.
And we're sitting around some of what you've accomplished here. This is a trophy
that's the Ultimate Chef of 2010 that I won.
In Bergen County.
In Bergen County at Chef Central. Amazing. At first, I wasn't really big on competitions like that. That was like an hour, and you had to cook a la minute, so to speak, as they say. But you know what? I challenged myself, and I did a great job. It was amazing. And you were up against some really I was up against top CIA chefs. I mean, these chefs are like Ike and Adam and Chef Christine Nunn and Chef John, all CIA graduates, very, very prestigious chefs that really gave me, great compliments and said, great job. Because one of the things that growing up that I had the pleasure was, and I tell a lot of people, and they don't really believe me, I had the honors to work with some of the amazing chefs in New Jersey. I mean, really, in my era, it was just soup to nuts. It was top notch. I mean, and the technique that I have, nobody could take it away from me. I mean, I learned it. I got it.
Well, you've also not only osmosed it, you've developed it. You've cultivated it.
Yeah.
That's what I've been so enjoying watching you do and changing a little and more comfortable in your skin.
More comfortable playing around. I'm playing now. I'm playing with ingredients and texture, but I'm inspired by people. So many walks of life and so many different things really move me and inspire me, and it reflects back to my cooking. And so many people call me now and email and want to know different techniques because they're actually trying some of the recipes that I'm doing, or they're trying a technique. And you know what? It's amazing when you start feeling confident in life. And I was always like being undermined myself and not really sure, to a point now I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. But I have a lot to offer the world. I have a lot to tell people, and if you want to cook, it's nothing more lavish and lovely of being in the kitchen and cooking.
All right, well, that's what you say. I don't ascribe to it, and that's why people like you are fabulous.
Yeah,
because I don't have to do it then.
But it's great. But you know what? But it's just love to be there. Just
I do. I like to hang out watching you.
There are people that be in the kitchen, like my aunt. They'll just be there. They're not helping. They're just eating and drinking and watching me cook. So it's also great in that perspective too, to be in there. Just be in the kitchen. It's where it all started when we were growing up. Yeah. My mother, my grandmother, and them. They're always in the kitchen baking, cooking. And cooking actually saved my life. From where I grew up, the streets was always a little tough. We lived kind of like in the project area. So like I said, it wasn't easy growing up just with the environment, but the food, my mother really kept me away from that and always had me in the kitchen. I didn't know why at the time, but now I know. It's just like, so as parents, we dictate what our kids need. Sometimes parents let the kids do whatever they want. So my mother just strictly, you're in the kitchen, buddy, and you with me. And yeah, I just inherit that, and it's just been amazing. But with experience with her cooking Southern, where she's a chef herself, where she don't proclaim to be a chef, but with learning from her, with not having a father growing up, she taught me everything I need to know, and then introduced me to a chef named Chef James. And once we hooked up, he said, "You have a passion in your heart that'll never die. Your food." And so now I really feel like, I believe in that. I have a gift to cook. I have the creativity, and people love me. I'm a lovable guy.
You're funny.
Yeah, I'm fun. I love to be.
Yeah, and you're certainly how this fits into.
Oh, I brought your favorite.
Well, I know it fits into Meet the Artist because you are also an artist with how you prepare and display.
My food is presented very well.
These are crab cakes.
Those are crab cakes.
Beyond the Beyond, actually.
Yeah. And that's a panko. It's a panko crust, so it's a little different from Southern. I was doing it with a little like cornmeal, but now the panko seems to be nice. It's crispy. It's a little bit more light, and it gives you the nice little cut. Back in the day, we used to use a lot of Wondra to crust things, and all the culinary chefs out there, they know about the Wondra flour. So if you want to do something really light, sometimes if you try to sear something. Maybe say a piece of flounder, it may start to kind of sweat on you and won't really get brown. That Wondra flour, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I know.
Yeah, so Nancy like, no. But it's a little Wondra flour, and normally you dust a little bit of that. It's very light flour, and it'll put a little
Wondra flour.
Wondra is called. You put a little crust on something like you're doing something light. If you're pan, searing or frying. So the panko is it gives it a little crispier cut. So the one that you had that I made for you was always with a little bit of cornmeal. So this is the little spin. So you should like it. But you're gonna love this and then the sauce is a Creole mustard and honey. And a mayonnaise. Mayo is pretty nice.
Well, it's absolutely beautifully done. And I think that's why I felt this was, not only have I been a fan of yours, but I admire your artistry, and the artistry consists of storytelling and engaging people, and the food is certainly a very powerful way to engage, but
absolutely.
It's also the interaction you have with people that I just love to bits. So to me, that's art.
Yeah, frankly. It's definitely art. And I've been told for a while now that, I think food is art, but people that does art beg to differ, but from Rick Parker and some other people say, they say, Jesse, you are, food, you are the food of art, and I am, like you said, from the storytelling, from every dish got a little story, because that's how Southern started out. Every dish had a story, from whole cakes to greens to fried chicken had a story. So my food has a story, but it's a passion story, and it's only the best ingredients, and it can only be told by me.
And it's your story. Now, what is this whole big
No,
feature?
this is when I my visit to the Star Ledger, and I cooked for the Star Ledger for the day, and they wrote about it. That was an amazing experience. And I did the brine apple cider chicken that went on to win the Bobby Flay's contest. I didn't make it to LA. This was I entered this dish in Bobby Flay's Healthy Food Fight in Rutherford, and I won.
Really?
But I didn't win. It was two they picked, Rockaway and Rutherford. I won Rutherford, but I didn't win Rockaway. The trip to go to L.A. to compete with the big boys. But, this dish was the main dish, and this is just grilled sweet potatoes and apples with arugula salad. The chicken is brine. Another little healthy concept of New Carolina cuisine. Let me just explain to you really quick about the New Carolina cuisine. And I know that you remember Heart and Soul, but I changed over my business. It's called Chef Jesse Concepts. And in Chef Jesse Concepts now is the New Carolina cuisine. And it's new cooking, it's new Southern, it's a little light. It's a take on the classics with a little lighter, with a little twist, a little healthier, playing around with different fruit and vegetables that's out here. It's amazing. There's so many vegetables that I don't even know about in fruit now that I'm exploring. So that's the amazing thing, and how I can incorporate it into my Southern heritage.
So Chef Jesse Concepts. Well, besides Rosanna Scotto, besides all the media attention, Tyler Perry, you're going to be featured in a magazine.
Yes.
It should be out by the time we air, and I'm just going to hold it up if I can.
Yeah.
This is the article featuring Chef Jesse And it's a wonderful photo. His arms are tired from holding up the
Yeah, right.
case. But it's going to be in inside New Jersey, and you know, you're known not only inside New Jersey, but outside New Jersey.
Yes.
And you've had people in demand wanting you to fly here and there, Miami,
Oh, yeah.
California.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not
working on
ready
that.
to do it yet.
I'm working on that.
You're working on that.
Wherever I can go on the bus, I'm good.
Yeah, and the one thing I thought that was interesting we talked about is that you had at your side your helpmate, your soulmate, your wife.
Oh, yeah.
And I really want to know, have you ever had a fight when you're preparing for...
we argue all the time. I mean, you know what? She knows how to push my buttons, and I'm thinking now she does it on purpose.
No, sir. It's just
I'm a perfectionist, and you know what happens with perfectionists. You know, it's hard to take the criticism, the failure. You know, so I want everything perfect, but you know what? It can't fail, and it gotta work. So when I ask her, I want this particular thing, she'll go, you can't use that. I'll get something else. And then I know I need what I need, and she knows it by now. You know the song. If you don't know me by now, if you don't know me by now, you're gonna never know me. That song. So it's like get what I need. You know. So we always arguing. You know.
But you're still together.
We're still together.
23
years. 2 boys, 23 years. 24, 19.
Years.
Amazing boys.
Yeah.
My wife's amazing, and she's been putting up with me for all these years. And I wasn't giving up, and I told her I'm glad that God is blessing me to things that happen for me. So you know what? It's kind of like crying wolf, and you say I'm gonna make it. Watch me. Now that it's starting to happen, it's great that she sees that. It's great that my family sees that, and it's just amazing that if you believe in yourself and you keep pushing, it's going to happen. You just got to believe in it. It's going to be tough. Life is not easy. It's always going to be hard, but you cannot give up. My new slogan when I was on CBS 2, February 21st, I did a Fat Tuesday, and I didn't want to take Emerald's slogan, BAM, so I said, POW! So that's my new thing. POW! Put the sauce in there with Mary, and let's get it. That's my little thing. So let's get it. It's out there. You just got to grab it. You can get it.
So how long have you been at this? I mean, how many years have you been actually seriously pursuing? 2003, so we're 9 years now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still getting a little ground, a little opening, just a little crack.
And I'll tell you that I think when you're putting yourself out there, and I had Chef Lisa on, and the two of you know one another. She's amazing too. It's putting one foot in front of the other, just believing where you're putting your foot is the right direction. There's no more else you can do, really. I don't think.
Well, you know what? It's a lot that you could do, but also let me tell you that with Chef Lisa too, and with me, I have amazing people on my side. I couldn't do it without them. I mean, I really have a great support team from all walks of life, all different countries, love what I do, and I couldn't do it without them. I mean, I'm only as good as my fans and my family and people that love me. I really, they put a word in for me, and that's what, at the end of the day, I can market, I can take out all these ads, but if somebody say, call Jesse, he'll do a great job. If you want barbecue, call him. Or if you want him to, got a kosher chef and he's black, call him. He can come and do it. So it's the people is advocate for me, and I met you. You always plug me, and I'm blessed. So Chef Lisa has the same thing, and we're just blessed. And our reputation, every day that we wake up and we go above and beyond, our reputation is heavy. I mean, I really take that. I mean, when somebody calls me and says so and so recommend you, I got to do my thing. I got to go out there and hold on to it. And business savvy is that I'm learning more now. So I fall, you're gonna fail, you get back up, and you keep moving.
Dust off.
You dust it off, and you just say, hey. But you know what though? I fell very well.
Oh yeah, you bounced. Let's call it. Let's say that.
If you're gonna fail good,
Yeah.
So I failed, I learned something,
Well, and the other thing is, I think when I first started watching you or observing you, I started first by tasting the food. Right. But it was
crab
really
cakes.
watching you. Yeah, crab cakes.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Thank you.
Because you was talking about your father. Like, I love crab cakes.
And what I found so intriguing, really, is every time I would go and follow you and take photos, it was a fundraiser for children's cancer. Right. Or it was the grand thing that was at the country club.
Yes.
And, I don't even remember if that was spina bifida.
You've been to several. I've been to quite a few. Thank you. I really actually appreciate that.
Spina bifida.
You've been to a lot of you've been to a lot of my events. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and what I've enjoyed watching is the people watching you, enjoying you.
Yeah, I love that too. I love the questions. Frankly. One lady asked me, like, you don't get tired of people asking you all the questions? I'm like, no, I love it.
Yeah. Now, is there anything you want to say? We have only 2 minutes left. Anything you've already said a lot.
Yeah, I think I talked too much, right?
No.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, if you've got a minute to sum it up, what do you want to do in the year 2012 that you haven't yet done?
Chef Jesse Live.
Ah.
Big show. I know it may sound like Emerald, but big show, big band, big music, me cooking. You be on there, be my guest.
And everybody in the studio.
Everybody
here,
in the studio.
right?
We're gonna be. You know, I have some
Soma?
studio guests, celebrity guests, cooking, dancing. I may sing. Because I didn't tell you I sing.
No, okay. No, well, that's another show.
2 minutes.
We've
That's
got to
another
get some
se-
good
that's another
mics in here
segment.
first.
That's another segment.
But anyway, I want to thank you for
Thanks for
the
having me.
gift of the generosity of your spirit,
Oh, yeah.
frankly. That's
No, thank
really
you.
what
Yes. This is
am most
a pleasure.
impressed by.
No, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm so
I
happy
came-
here.
I came a long way, baby.
You have, and you're going even further.
Yes.
So, well, we have 1 minute.
Okay,
I
yeah.
want to
Yeah.
toast to you,
Thank
Chef
you.
Jesse.
Thank you so much.
And for sharing what you've accomplished so far.
Yes.
And helping kids have a chance to dream, and
Oh.
we really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we really appreciate you in the audience. You have a wonderful evening, and look for Chef Jesse. Look for Inside New Jersey. Watch Meet the Artist and enjoy life because you deserve it. Thank you for joining us.